Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In honor of that, I will comply and not be silent or complicit. There's a term that I think we should all get very used to here over the next several years, and that's going to be a term called malicious compliance. And what malicious compliance is when you say to stop a program like DEI and programs which elevate, in many cases, superficial characteristics above the character, skill sets, and experiences of people that are qualified for the job. They choose to enforce it in certain ways. So if you have an agenda, instead of actually looking at the obvious intentions that have been expressed by the Trump administration, by Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, you choose something like this, and you take it down. Not because this is what was intended by the Trump administration, not because this is what was intended by Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, quite the opposite. In fact, as soon as the Secretary of Defense found out about it, he immediately reversed it. So why was this chosen? Well, it was chosen for this right here. It was chosen in order to give a headline. See, this is what the Trump administration is really after. No, Mr. Speaker, I don't believe so. I reject that. It would be absolutely absurd, and I don't know of a single person that would think it would be justified to remove discussions about illustrious units like the Tuskegee Airmen from a basic training class within the Air Force. And yet here we are. That's what we chose. You know what it reminds me a little bit of, Mr. Speaker? I remember when there was a debate going on about a government shutdown. And the Obama administration decided to actually put cones up and bring guards to shut down open-air monuments on the D.C. Mall. That's a perfect example of malicious compliance. You're attacking something we don't want you to, and so therefore we're going to make it as painful as possible. Not because we think this is what you actually want, but because we'll show you when you challenge us. Mr. Speaker, I'm very grateful that Secretary Hegseth reversed this immediately. He needed to. I think he should also look at whatever people within the Department of Defense use this, I believe, as a political stunt and remove them while he's at it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.